welcome to The Real Deal with Syl and Tim. It's another wonderful Wednesday out there. Wednesday is also known as Hump Day, so happy Hump Day to you all, and happy Hump Day to my guest co-host today, Antonio French.
Thank you. Happy Hump Day to you too.
Thank you very much. For those listeners who are unfamiliar with you, you are Antonio French, the editor of the hottest blog out there, pubdef.net, and political director to our newly appointed president of the Board of Aldermen, Lewis Reed. So congratulations again on that.
Thank you.
You were with us, a week ago, almost today, and you caused quite a ruckus while you were here. So we'll see what kind of trouble you can get into today.
I'll get my best behavior.
Telephone numbers, real quick, are 314-454-0400 or toll free at 1-877-920-WGNU. And you can send your emails to us at realdealwgnu@sbcglobal.net. Mr. French, so have you heard about Obama and his recent numbers?
Doing good.
He's doing very well.
Especially his financial numbers, yeah.
Yes,
neck and neck there.
And he was up like 6 points from Giuliani, according to the Rasmussen poll this morning, at least, anyway. And I'm curious to know your thoughts. Do you think that Obama has a chance, as a black man, to be president of the United States of America?
I think absolutely. I think Obama has by far the best chance that any African American has had to become president, and he really has a great chance in the Democratic field to win the nomination. You look at the other candidates out there. He's really energized people like no one else has, and I think you see that in his fundraising ability. Fundraising ability isn't everything, but it is a good indication of how strong a candidate you can actually be.
No doubt. I think that he has a fabulous chance, and I like to refer to him as the next president of the United States of America. So, interesting to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's interesting too that by far his chief competitor right now is Hillary Clinton, and Hillary, I think, on both sides too, Hillary and Giuliani, they both seem really attractive right now to their constituents and during this period of the primary race. But as you get closer, I think, to when you actually decide who's going to represent your party, I think Giuliani's going to have a tough time winning his party's nomination.
Oh, yes.
And I think Hillary, the closer it gets to, and people try to imagine what southern state she could possibly win, they're going to have a tough time getting her the nomination too. Well,
if it's not Hillary, then who do you think it will be between Barack and who?
I've been impressed so far by the Edwards machine. Edwards has really been out, even in Missouri so far. I've gone to community meetings and I've seen like Edwards people there already. So they're getting out early. Edwards might have a problem with kind of the empty suit complex, where he looks attractive as a candidate, but then as he talks more, the more he talks, the less he says, kind of thing. At least that's my opinion. Obama, on the other hand, and Edwards is also burdened by having been part of the ticket last time that failed.
Right.
And then in the 6 years since, one might ask where has he been, what has he done, what kind of leadership has he shown in the last 6 years. Obama has the advantage and disadvantage of not being a public figure that long, so not having that baggage.
Right. Yeah, I hope that, everyone can look past, for Obama's sake, the fact that he will be the first black, president. And I think he's going to do really well, because when I look at, whenever they have those little parties online, and you can go check them out, where you want to go for your Obama party, and these places are in rural Missouri where people are throwing, parties for him to raise money. So I think he's going to do just fine, and I think he is able to reach so many different types of people. I just think he's the one, and we need to stick with him. I've got a lot of friends who are Republican who are saying that they're going to vote for Obama because he's a fresh new voice, and they don't have to deal with, all of the Republicans out there who are saying the same old. They're not saying anything any different, and they're not proposing anything new to do about the war.
He's such a smart man, when you talk to him, he really has a bunch of ideas. He seems energetic,
Mm-hmm.
and he can articulate his position very well. And after 6 years of Bush, America, I think, is thirsty for something like that.
Right.
We kind of miss the Clinton years when we had like an intelligent president who could like explain to us. Maybe he didn't always tell us the truth.
I was gonna say, watch yourself now.
But he was articulate with sometimes complex situations. And then we have the other end of the extreme right now with like a president who takes the most complex situations and boils them down to like a John Wayne phrase or something. So we'll see what happens, but it is going to be an interesting race, and it's going to be a fun race to watch, from our point of view.
No doubt it will be. So I don't know if you got a chance to listen to our show yesterday, but one of the things that we were discussing yesterday was 60 Minutes this past Sunday, and they were referring to this new, well, it's not new, but I guess people have been using this phrase snitching, and the fact that people do not want to, quote-unquote, snitch on their neighbors when they see them committing a crime. I'm bringing this up with you because I'm really curious how you feel about it. And we did sort of discuss this yesterday a little bit, but I'm going to force you to say it on the air now. So I saw on 60 Minutes some young people as young as 12 and older, is up all the way up into adult years. I'm thinking 40s, 50s maybe, where these people are saying, well, in our community, the police harass us, so we're not going to turn in people because we know how harassing they can be. And also, we heard yesterday on the radio people saying, well, the police stick together, so why would we turn in our own? On 60 Minutes, a rapper, Cameron, they asked him, well, if you lived next door to a serial murderer and you knew he was a serial murderer, would you turn him in? And poor Cameron, I just feel so bad for him. I know he is sitting back now saying, why did I say that? But yes, Cameron said, no, I would not turn him in. I would just move.
But I don't think Cameron does feel bad about saying it. I think that is his philosophy. He subscribes to the no snitching lifestyle, and he said what he thought, and in his mind he gained street credit for that somehow. And I don't buy into this thing at all. But when we talked yesterday and you brought this up, I shared with you the story. And usually I'm good about carrying my camera around on me and catching things, but I did not catch this. But on last election day, going around from poll place to poll place, I was over on the north side, and I spotted an elected official who shall remain nameless, who was wearing a "Stop Snitching" T-shirt.
That is
and my cameraman Mike was with me, and I was like, "You see this? I mean, is this the message that an elected official should really send out, especially in a crime-ridden area?"
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the point is 60 Minutes, and I think it was Anderson Cooper who was interviewing him, brought up is that in an area that is more affected by violent crime than other areas, where these rappers come from and where this no snitching philosophy is really apparent. These are areas that are most affected by crime and really need to, you would think citizens would want to try to make their neighborhoods as safe as possible. It gets complicated, and as the media does, they jump onto a phrase and then try to define a philosophy based upon these two words. It's a complicated situation. In many cases, you don't want to report the murderer because you know that the cops are going to come by. The judicial system may take the guy in, and he's going to be back on the streets next week, and it's going to get around that you reported this murderer. That's a quick way to get killed. And so, one, it's about personal safety, and then you have some young kids who are growing up with this philosophy where we don't trust the man, and we're not going to cooperate in any way.
Wonder where they get that from.
It's not new. It's older than rap music, so we can't blame hip hop for it.
I didn't say it was rap music. You said it.
But
I'll let you. I will let you finish that thought when we come back. It's 4:16. It's time for our first break. And when we come back, we'll be chatting more with Antonio French.